The adventure continues. In disguise, Picard, Data, and Riker are caught in a laser crossfire. It's a narrow escape. Back on the Starship Enterprise, Counselor Troy has the bridge. Suddenly, there's an explosion. Overcome by a parasite, Geordi is out of control. Lieutenant Worf and Lieutenant Barclay lure him off to sickbay with a holographic image of his friend, Hugh Borg. Calm is finally restored to the bridge. Temporarily. Star Trek, The Next Generation, bridge playset, and action figures, new from Playmates.
If you've been following my channel, you know that I've been working real hard on building a mini Toys R Us in my living room. In the last retro unboxing reviews that I was working on were the 90s Playmates Star Trek action figures. I was trying to get through all the Borg. I unboxed and reviewed the bridge to the Enterprise D, and that is actually on display right here. Now I kind of feel like I need more characters. I've got a bunch of good guys. I've got the full cast. Now I need some antagonists. This guy would be great, Trelane. But he is TOS. Oh, here is a Borg Queen. And here's Benjamin Sisko. That would work really good for the TOS. Again, another TOS, Captain Koloth. But I found another one that would be really, really good. And that's 7 and 9 in her natural Borg attire. Also seeing something that would make more sense if I went chronologically. And that would be unboxing Hugh. Let's unbox Hugh.
We are Hugh.
If you clicked on this video, you most likely know who Hugh is, who the Borg are, what Star Trek is, and what toys are. So I don't have to go through some retrospective on Hugh. Let's just go straight to the card. From the very top, exclusive Playmates space caps. I actually like the trading cards a lot more than the Pogs. Attention collectors, each figure individually numbered. That usually has the numbers. Maybe it's still numbered. We'll check it out once we unbox it. But the card looks really nice. Of course, with the Enterprise D flying right at you. With a real nice clear bubble so you could see the figure, the Pog. And the Pog kind of obscures all the accessories that Hugh comes with. But let's turn them around. Got all the figures in this series that you can collect. It's really pushing that whole space cap on you. And coming soon, the Star Trek Deep Space Nine video game on Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. And this is always really nice, describing exactly what the accessories that Hugh comes with. His G.I. Joe file card, which is always welcome, especially when you're a kid and you don't have the luxury of having the DVD collections.
Time to go assimilating.
Now, depending on how well I unbox them, I might just seal them back up and put them back on the pegs. But if the card is too damaged, and then I think it's getting too damaged here, because he just won't open, I might just line them up with the rest of my Borg. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. And here's the space cap, which again, I think I'm just gonna keep as is. I don't have a collection of Pogs, but I do have a collection of cards. Here are all his accessories. We'll check them out in a bit. But now here's Hugh. Now taking a look at all the accessories that Hugh comes with. First off is the mechanical telescoping arm. Snaps into his shoulder socket, which is something that I was kind of wondering. Because, well, the hand doesn't seem to come off like most Borgs. Okay, there we go. But then this Borg hose doesn't connect to anything. So, okay, it comes off from right there too. I'm not even going to take pictures of him this way because he didn't come out like this in any episode. He didn't use this thing. So, we'll see if it fits on any other Borg. I do like how this coil fits a lot better. It's more rigid, it might break a lot easier. But this thing right here, these coils on these Borgs, very difficult to just keep on there, let alone put on. Let's continue with the accessories. This is the scanner device. It's a new mold. Looks pretty simple. Nice to have around. The next item, power regulator. It looks like an old cell phone. So that's actually nice to have. Action base that comes with all the other Borgs, but it's got Hugh Borg, so it's just for him. And now here's Hugh. The detail is really, really nice. I just watched the episode right now, and I'm really, really impressed with all the fine detail that they put onto this guy. Take a look at his Borg eye. It was either green, a little bit of orange and green, or orange. I thought maybe it was gonna be a bit like Star Wars. Eventually, as he's turning to the light side, his eye starts turning green, just depending on where the light was hitting the eye and where the camera was focused. So it didn't really matter what color his eye was. I wonder if there are any toy variations that come with a orange eye. One thing I noticed that I kind of don't like is the color on his lips. He has great articulation all the way around. He's got head articulation, bicep, elbow, waist, hip, and knee articulations. His bicep articulation is stuck on his left arm, and if I keep twisting it, I'm afraid it's just gonna snap. And I literally just came from dipping him into boiling hot water, taking the left arm off, and then popping it back in, and check it out, no problem. And I honestly can't stop saying just how good this figure is. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect representation of Hugh.
We are Hugh.
It's near darn perfect, especially with the style that these figures are going for, which is not super realistic. They have a slight cartoonish feel and look to them, but I think that's something that gives them charisma and character. And this guy, well, he's got a lot of character, especially for being a Borg. I mean, take a look at the rest of the Borg.
Locutus.
Yes. I am Locutus of Borg.
Why are you here?
I don't know.
Besides Locutus, the rest of the Borg drones look a bit generic, especially since they all share the same body type, body mold. And the only differences are probably the hand attachments and the colors. But once you add in Hugh, now you got this nice variety of Borg drones. Remember that hand attachment that we're not going to put on Hugh? Well, let's try it out on one of these other drones here. Doesn't look too bad. And now I have more of a variety of Borg drones. Since his arm unattaches at the bicep, once you plug in the other attachments to the other Borgs, he's left with a very tiny looking arm. As compared to the other guys who have these super long attachments, he just seems a little shortchanged. Speaking of short, I actually like the height they gave him. He's just a little shorter than the rest of the Borg drones. And just because I wanted to see it, this guy's got 2 elbows on one arm. And a ton of articulation in that arm now. As you can see, all their right feet are painted white and individually numbered. But Hugh, on the other hand, it's not painted white, but it's still individually numbered. If you're still watching, thank you for sitting through the whole thing. And it must mean you really love the Borg or you really love Star Trek. Please consider subscribing and I'll let you, the viewers, decide who I unbox next. Would I add another person to the Borg army or add another person to the crew of the Enterprise D? I would, however, like to unbox Lwaxana Troi. That would this would be fun because she was on the bridge a lot. She wasn't supposed to. Plus, it would be the second Major Barrett action figure that I have loose. But, like I said, I do need antagonists. She kind of was an antagonist, but at the end of the day, she was good folk. And even though Hugh was good folk at the end of the day, he still is a Borg. He still looks pretty creepy. And he'd look pretty great with the rest of my Borg army. My goal on YouTube is to get to 10,000 subscribers. If you can help me out with that, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. And now, let's have some fun.